Hello, my friends. Do you have those particular nights when you really don't have a lot of time and you want to be able to get dinner on the table? Well, I'm going to share with you tonight one of my favorite weeknight specials, and we're going to put together some delicious succotash. And I'm going to add a little something special in there just because that's how we like it. Now, those of you Southern girls, you may opt to go with something else. But for me and staying plant based, I'm going to make sure that I'm putting whatever is in the pan and the skillet that they are going to be all plant based friendly. So let's get started and welcome to Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. Start out with actually two different pans because not only are we going to prepare succotash, we're also going to prepare some brown rice, but I'm going to do it in somewhat of a gravy and with some mushrooms and some onions. So I'm going to have that underneath the succotash. And that's going to be my meal for tonight, my plant-based meal. Of both of these dishes actually are pretty much the same. We started with mirepoix, which is going to be the onions, a little bit of peppers, there's some red peppers, a little bit of green peppers, also a little bit of carrot, as well as some onion. And then we're going to go in with some house seasoning and some no salt seasoning. Now, I purposely showed you the brand that I typically buy. It's really a duplicate of Mrs. Dash No Salt, but I purchased it from Kirkland because I can get a larger container. But that's where we're going to start. That's the base. And to be honest with you, you're going to find that when you're cooking, that you always kind of have certain base spices. And of course, the house seasoning has the onion powder, the garlic powder, and the black pepper. And if you need to kick the black pepper up, or maybe you want more garlic powder, then you can add those additional items by themselves. Now, the brown rice, I only added about a cup, and I added a couple of cups of mushrooms. And you can decide if you want to keep the mushrooms large, if you want to chop them up a little smaller. My household is good with them being just sliced rather than having to be chopped small. But if you have children, you may certainly want to chop them up. Now, we're going to let this all simmer. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of soy milk to mine because I want a little more creaminess. Okay, now over where we're preparing the succotash, we're about to add our special item. I'm going to add some sun-dried tomatoes, and they're in olive oil. And I'm going to place those in. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and just chop them up until I get my mixture about the consistency that I like. Now, if I find that the succotash is getting dry, I'll add some vegetable stock to it. And I'm keeping plenty of vegetable stock because I'm going to need it for both the succotash as well as for the mushrooms and brown rice. I'll also put in some liquid aminos, just add that little extra touch of salt, and as well as it will give you that feeling of a little bit of soy sauce in each of the dishes. You notice I'm able to transfer some of those items back and forth between the two dishes, between the succotash, between the mushrooms and rice. And that's a good thing because it keeps your dinner balanced. And if you need to add vegetable broth, more vegetable broth, and I use vegetable broth instead of water because I want more flavor. And then you can just add that until you get this really nice, thick gravy consistency. So we're basically somewhat cooking the brown rice almost like a risotto, but we're taking it a little bit farther because we want some of the juices to be there to make that gravy. That every now and then I may have to add a little extra liquid just to make sure that my rice is getting tender. I may also have to stir because with any rice and you have a mixture like this, it will stick. If you look in this pot, you're going to see that the succotash has gotten quite creamy. The lima beans have started to release their starches, and as I stir, the liquid is in there, and it is just perfect. It's just the way I like it, well cooked. And I want my lima beans to be very tender. And of course, when you're cooking plant based, and if you want your family to eat plant based, your food must taste good. I made just enough of the rice mixture for the big guy and I. And as you can see, the rice has soaked up everything. It is nice and starchy, and we're going to use our bowls tonight and place the rice in the middle of them. We're going to add the succotash on top, and I think I may even add a few tomatoes on the side, fresh tomatoes, to add just a little special touch to our plate.